guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as the title suggests, we are testing out some neon paint today. I honestly don't know how this is going to go, so I'm going to do footage as usual and do a voiceover over the top and just let you know how I found it, what I liked, what I didn't like, and whether I would use them again. So let's get started with that, and if you do like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So these neon paints, there is a set of 5 tubes with one glow-in-the-dark paint. They are from rowney, and I got them because they were on sale and they looked really bright, and I thought, oh, that looks interesting, pretty much. As I said previously in quite a few videos, I don't tend to use acrylic paint anywhere near as much. It is something I used to use, and in all honesty, I got these paints ages ago. I think, oh my gosh, honestly, it must be at least 6-7 months, and I just haven't actually picked the pack up at all. I wanted to test them out just because I found them when I was doing that art supply video, and I realised, oh yeah, I've still got these, and I hadn't even opened the packaging for them. So I thought, you know what, let me do a video about this, and it will be good to try out. I had this idea of the butterfly over the face for quite some time. It's something that I really wanted to experiment with, and I thought the neon acrylic paint would work really well as a bright pop of colour for this piece. I had some expectations. I have used acrylic in the past, as I said before. It was only student grade paint, so it was nothing amazing, but I was expecting something similar to that in the sense that it would be rather opaque paint that can layer quite thickly. You can loosen it up with different mediums. I would tend to use water, although it wasn't the best for that, to make them thinner, but on the whole, acrylic paint was quite thick and opaque and something that you can layer on quite easily. So when I did some swatches, which I totally filmed out of camera, so I had to cut all of that because you couldn't even see what I was doing, but I was a bit disappointed in it because of how transparent it was. And so I did my first layer of colour, and yeah, it was completely transparent. I was really, really shocked. I was expecting something to be thicker and more opaque, and I didn't get that at all. This was more similar to like quite a thick gouache rather than acrylic paint, and even then I think I probably could have got a better layer of colour with my gouache than what I did here. So I was a bit disappointed in that, genuinely. It's not something I was expecting, and I was wanting the colours to be really vivid and vibrant, and I just didn't get that. I also found them really difficult to layer because they were so transparent. They wasn't layering very well, so I wanted to actually put a bit more yellow into the piece just because I wanted that vibrancy, and I felt that the yellow and the green was probably the most vibrant out of all the colours in my personal opinion. But I wasn't able to layer them properly because they're so transparent, and it just kind of, yeah, it was really disappointing, I won't lie. It was at this point where I was just like, you know what, I'm not enjoying this. So I got out my gouache and I decided to do a really dark portrait so that it would make the colour of the butterfly pop a little bit more and hopefully make it seem brighter than what it actually was. But against the white paper, it just seemed really dull, which was super frustrating. Now, there is, as I said, glow-in-the-dark paint in this, and that actually dries clear. If you look where I've got the swatches, where the green one is slightly to the left, there is a slight discoloured patch there, but it's very hard to notice. So after I'd finished this piece, I actually went over and did a little bit of that because it dries quite clear across the butterfly. And I was super excited. I had shone a light on it for ages so that it would absorb some of the light, and then I switched all the lights off, made it really, really dark in my room, and it did not glow, like at all. It glowed in 1 or 2 points where it was really, really thick, but the rest of it, nothing, like absolutely nothing. And when I say 1 or 2 points, I mean literal pinpricks where there was an extra bit of paint on that bit, and that's it. It just wasn't bright at any other point, like it didn't glow. And I was so frustrated because I'm like, this has been labelled glow in the dark, and either I have done it wrong in which case fine. I hadn't done any research on these paints. I hadn't looked into it before doing this or before attempting this. I hadn't looked into any of it, and I am actually going to do a bit of research now. I'm going to see if there's any other YouTube videos about this paint, because for me personally, I was expecting acrylic paint, something that is opaque, easy to layer with. You can layer you can layer dark and then have a light colour over the top. Because of the way it's so opaque and the fact that it's such a thick paint, you can normally do that, whereas with this you couldn't do that. The colours weren't anywhere near as vibrant as what I was expecting. Honestly, I was shocked at how disappointed I was in this. I was genuinely looking forward to it. Again, as I said, I don't really do a lot of acrylic painting, but I thought the vibrancy of the colour would be great because of the fact that I normally work in gouache and that dries quite matte, which I prefer, but it can be difficult to get really, really bright, vibrant neon colours in gouache, which is understandable. But yeah, this just wasn't quite what I wanted. I feel like I could have probably done this in normal acrylic paint and gotten a bit better of a result. Once the darker colours are around it, it does look a lot better. I do prefer it. I think the darker contrast with the brighter colours does make this work a lot better. So I was kind of happy with the end result, although I do personally want to improve on working on smoke, and just because I really need to, yeah. The texture of it I think was okay in some places, but near the top of the butterfly, yeah, it wasn't very good. And so that's something I'm going to work on. And also butterfly wings, I'm not very good at doing those, but this was good just to test the paint. But yeah, overall, would I use it again? Probably not. Okay, thank you so much for watching and making it this far. Also, I always forget to say this, but I do actually have an Instagram account, and I mention it a lot, but it is actually linked in the description below, so you can go check that out if you want. Also, can you let me know, I have a question for everyone. Do you enjoy these intro and outro parts, or would you rather I didn't bother having them? I don't personally mind. I think it adds a little bit of a personal touch, or at least that's what I'm trying to do. But obviously if it's something you'd rather not have, then just let me know. But yeah, otherwise I'll catch you in a couple of days. Stay safe and I'll see you then.